I took every team's best player and put them in free agency. Best player was decided by overall, and if there was a tie, then I simply took the top one. In doing this, there was a total of 29 players added to free agency as well as 3 goalies. I then created an expansion franchise mode so that we could start in the offseason and the likelihood of players being signed goes up drastically. And with that, the Houston Huskies were born. Truthfully, I was a pretty big fan of the jerseys that they gave me to start, so I just took it and ran. I auto-drafted the expansion because, in all reality, our team is not that important in this video at all. The main focus of this video was to see how the AI GMs react to all these players being in free agency. And with that being said, yeah, I did leave the jabroni setting on. On that note, let's get into it. And now, it is time to find out who went where. That kind of sounds like the intro to a game show or something. You know, the whole crowd, who went where? It appears the only change for the Ducks is that they picked up Pettersson as their first line center. He's going to be playing with Trevor. That's solid. You honestly cannot make this up. They bring back the Arizona boy, Auston Matthews, to be the first line center, playing with Troy Terry as well. I'm assuming this is the draft pick they just made. And then they also got Lindholm. Holy smokes. EK65 was put in the mix as well, so this team is offensively sound. Sidney the Kidney was signed to the Boston Bruins. So I was curious, and it looks like I was right. Because there was such fierce competition in free agency, the contracts really aren't that big. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still a crazy amount, but what I'm saying is, considering it's Sidney the Kidney, probably could have got paid a little bit more, is all I'm saying. Clayton Keller will be the only addition for the Buffalo Sabres. Carolina pulled the whole, we don't need anybody, we're just good. Bold strategy, let's see if it pays off. Joining the Columbus Blue Jackets, we have Sean Couturier as well as Dewey, playing with Werenski. That's going to be a great pair. Overchicken signs with the Calgary Flames. This seems a little bit overkill, but to the Windy City, we have Vazzy Sorokin, 2 incredible netminders, and also Dylan Larkin. I guess they just re-signed Nate Mack? I'm almost positive I put him in free agency, so... Huh. How about that? I don't like when teams do this though, because it makes me second guess myself. Connor McDusty signs in Detroit. And speaking of McDusty, the Oilers went in on their loss of him, got Jason Robertson and Kirill the Thrill. Seth Jones will be added to the Florida Panthers roster. Matty Tkachuk and Jack Hughes on the first line of the LA Kings with Fiala. That is gross. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna start skipping teams that didn't do anything. You had all those players available. What's going on? The Isles will sign Andrei Svechnikov to be their first line right wing. Panarin is headed to Northern Ontario. He will be playing for the Ottawa Senators. Jordan Kyrou signs with the Broad Street Bullies. The Pity Pens lose Sidney the Kidney and they obtain Tage Thompson. Yanni Gord as well as Nick Suzuki are headed to Missouri. Pasta joins the Tampa Bay Lightning. This first line is basically illegal. It's like a gray area, you know? It's not quite illegal, but there's certainly some sussy things going on. Brady decides to stay in Ontario, but he is joining the Toronto Maple Leafs. Alright, Winnipeg brings back Hellebuck. I know I dropped him. I know it. Don't do this to me. And last and certainly least, the Washington Capitals sign Roman Josi to play with John Carlson. I don't even know what to say about that. Once again, law enforcement may get involved. Pietrangelo is still in free agency, and normally I feel like there's more, so it's pretty good that there's only one left. Yes, I know it's Pietrangelo. Chill. No goalies remain, which means Alex is the sole remainder. You know what, Alex? I will offer you a contract. This guy really just said I'm currently considering my options. What options? And just in case anyone's curious, I did an auto expansion draft, so this is what our team looks like. Overall wise, not great. I do like the 2+1s down here, though. Defensively, I got Pietrangelo, +2 on the first line with Brady Shea, -2 here. I'm not going to change anything, though, because we're just running it the way it is. Our squadron is absolute cheeks. I feel like this could be a video in itself, just the auto expansion draft challenge. Have the AI auto draft my expansion, and then my goal is to take them to the Stanley Cup. That could be a good video, right? Right, guys? Right? A 13-3 win over Vancouver. That's ugly. But you know the beautiful thing about this video is I don't care whatsoever how the Huskies do. Doesn't matter to me. In fact, it's probably a good thing that they're poo, because that way we get to see the other teams that signed all these players at the top. Who do we have here? Vasilevsky. And Sorokin. And Larkin. Wow, Chicago clearly not doing too well. Ovi is available. So is Kopitar. This is the most intense free agency I've ever seen. But alas, I shall not participate. Get me out of here. But show me the blockbuster trades. There's got to be at least one. Come on now. I mean, all right. Mackenzie Weegar, a third, a fourth, and Troy Stetcher headed to Edmonton in exchange for Dylan Holloway and Xavier Bourgault. That was it? That was the only big trade. These GMs suck, dude. Dude, they suck, man. You see a 94 overall goalie making less than $6 million. I mean, I guess from the GM's perspective, well, no, it is a game, so you do see the overall. Anyway, the team wants to get rid of a franchise netminder who's making less than $6 million. And no one jumped on that. I think his contract was only 1 year, though. So, you know what? Kinda checks out. Pietrangelo led our team for points. Let's go. And it would be the big bad Bruins getting the President's Trophy this year after they picked up Sidney to play with Brad and Bertuzzi on that first line. Good on them. Yeah, see, the Minnesota Wild, they just lost Kirill the Thrill. Didn't pick anybody up, and they finished second in the league. I just simply will never understand simulation logic in this game. And I'm starting to come to terms with that. Columbus finished third in the league after picking up Dewey. One thing you do love to see is Calgary finishing 16th and making it in. Because it's the top 16 teams, everybody. Shockingly, we didn't finish last. That would be Chicago, who had Larkin, Vasilevsky, and Sorokin. So clearly, netminders weren't able to carry them. Vancouver finished second last, and they did not add any players. They only lost Pettersson. So that kind of checks out. Brian Elliott led the league with 42 wins and a nice amount of games played. He had a 905 save percentage and a 281 GAA. Igor Shesterkin, did well for the Rangers. No surprises there. Merzlikins. Hellebuck was in free agency, but technically just got signed back. I'm trying to think, but I believe that Sorokin and Vasilevsky are the only other two goalies. Reaching point a game is Cale Makar. Absolutely incredible season from him. Fox had 79 points. Another great simulation there. And Dewey, nice! With the Columbus Blue Jackets, puts up 68 points. Look at the gap, though. 11 points between second and third. And your Art Ross winner is Bradley Marchand, who had 108 points. And Sidney is right there as well, 104. So that first line for Boston clearly lit the lamp. Jack Hughes on the LA Kings did bits, and then we've got Connor McDavid on Detroit. He put up 91 points. That's pretty good. Pasta on the Tampa Bay Lightning had 91, which, kind of checks out. He's playing with Cooch and Point. So, yeah, they're gonna put the puck in the net. Matty Tkachuk, line mates with Jack Hughes on the LA Kings, is up here as well, 85 points. Nobody hit 50 this year, eh? Wow, that's kind of surprising. Connor McDavid with 46 will be your Rocket Richard winner. It's time to simulate past the playoffs and find out which team will go on to win the Stanley Cup. Will it be a team that added players, or will it be a team that abstained? It is the Boston Bruins, who won the President's Trophy as well. So, they lose Pasta, sign Crosby, and all of a sudden they're just nuts. I mean, to be fair, they were really good anyway, but this just pushed them over the line, apparently. Linus had a 924, and I'm assuming they played the Dallas Stars in the finals. Jake Yeo also did extremely well with a 920 save percentage. Hellebuck and Flower both had 3 shutouts, so they definitely carried their weight for their team. And defensively, we've got Miro up at the top, 20 points in 26 games. Grzelcyk with 15 points in 23. He must have just been feeding Crosby. It's gotta be it, right? McAvoy as well up there with 12. Orlov with 12. And your Conn Smythe winner, probably Crosby, but I would laugh so hard if it was Taylor Hall. 24 points as well. And he wasn't even on the first line, was he? Jeff Skinner did absolutely incredible for the Dallas Stars. I don't even know how he got there. It must have been a trade or something, maybe. But, yeah. Okay. Good on ya. Evidently, Svetch was a great signing for the Isles. 21 points in just 16 games. But they just couldn't get past, I'm assuming, the third round. They probably made it to the conference finals. Well, with 16 games played, yeah. You would have to have. And now it is award time. The Boston Bruins, we already knew that. Dallas Stars in the finals. What a season it was. for the big bad ones. On top of the team awards, the Art Ross goes to Brad, and so does the Hart. Fox got the Norris this season, and Braden Point will be getting the Lady Bing. So I remember that he won the Calder before. This isn't the first time that we've simulated and he got the Calder, and I had no idea who he was, to be honest with you. And then I looked him up after I saw some comments saying that he's a stud, and he is in fact a stud. Gonna be an incredible hockey player. I mean, he already is, but guy's got potential. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes! Yes! The Conn Smythe goes to Taylor Hall. That is amazing. Frederick gets the Vezina and the Jennings. Murphy will be taking the Masterton this season. The Jack Adams goes to Reinhardt. Nico scoops up the Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Bradley. And last but not least, the Rocket Richard, Connor McDusty. We knew that one. You know what I'm curious about, however? What was Connor's contract? He didn't even sign for $10 million. He only got 9.4 for 7 years. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, your playoff tree. Obviously, it did not involve the Huskies, but we were so irrelevant in this video, it's not even funny. In fact, I never really explained why I did the expansion draft, or maybe I did, because that's going to be voiced over after. So, scratch that. I hope you did enjoy the video, though. Maybe we could do some more of these, you know, putting every team's best goalie in free agency, stuff like that, and, you know, come up with all sorts of ideas. Thank you guys for watching, though. Greatly appreciated. If you could like the video, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe, that'd be awesomer. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you decided to watch this. I'll see you soon.